to tears. I'm not interested in talking about any of these teams for any more than right there. I know Aaron Rodgers on one of them. Don't care. Bryce Young, 98th best player in the league. Sweet. Anybody checked on Daniel Jones' Achilles? Do they have a plan otherwise?
This is precisely the point I want to zero in on right now. The sentiment expressed is that the Carolina Panthers are boring, that nobody cares about them, and that Bryce Young is simply not worth discussing. Now, I just finished recording a similar video focused on the Atlanta Falcons because there's significant overlap in the narrative surrounding both franchises, but this particular clip stood out to me as emblematic of a larger problem. This is exactly why I put so much effort into creating Carolina Panthers content. They are perennially overlooked by the mainstream media machine. Shows like First Things First, The Herd, Get Up, and First Take operate under different constraints. They have to chase ratings, which are infinitely more critical to their survival than some random YouTube creator producing a video that might only draw a fraction of the viewership. I genuinely understand that dynamic. I'm not here to hold their feet to the fire or act outraged. I get it. That said, it's still a genuine disappointment. It's disheartening when the prevailing attitude is that Bryce Young's journey doesn't matter. He was the #1 overall pick. Pundits labeled him a bust. They declared his career was going nowhere. And now, he's positioned to potentially resurrect his trajectory and guide the Carolina Panthers towards Super Bowl contention. How is that not a compelling narrative? Of course, it is. But this is precisely why I constantly implore Panthers fans to watch the full video and subscribe. That collective action creates an avalanche of views and subscribers, which in turn allows me to continue producing content about this team in a way that's genuinely fun, interesting, and engaging. Sometimes I release a Panthers video and only 1,000 people watch it with a single comment. That's not particularly rewarding. But when a video gets 5,000 views and 100 comments, suddenly we have a real discussion. We have a community. We have engaging back and forth. The comment-to-view ratio on this channel is remarkably high, one of the best I personally encountered. I've looked at many big-name YouTube channels, whether they're TV show-based or run by other popular creators, and the level of engagement we get here is phenomenal. I love that because it signifies actual community, people leaving comments because they feel their voice is heard and their contributions matter. I want to deliver that experience to the Carolina Panthers fan base, and to every fan base, to be fair. But when I see a dismissal like this, it's such a bummer that we won't have a conversation about the Panthers because people aren't even remotely interested. Let's contextualize this properly. In many ways, last season was essentially year one for this iteration of the team with Bryce Young at the helm. And what did we witness? Bryce Young delivered an absolutely phenomenal playoff performance. I stated at the time that it was one of my favorite performances across the entire postseason, not just recently but over the last 5 or so years. I thought it was spectacular. I'll say it plainly, he outplayed Matthew Stafford. He outplayed the MVP. And Stafford is playing on a bona fide stacked roster with Sean McVay, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, an elite running game, and an elite offensive line. Stafford has been in the NFL for ages. Yet Bryce Young outperformed him. You don't think that's worth discussing? You don't think it's worth examining what year 2 might look like now that Young and the Panthers seem to have found their footing? That doesn't bore me. That excites me. It genuinely excites me. I've been talking about this division extensively because I'm genuinely pumped for it. I planted my flag on all these teams, declaring that it's an absolute roll of the dice who wins the division. The uncertainty excites me. What will Bryce Young look like moving forward? Has he truly gotten his career on track, meaning the Panthers are poised to be awesome? What does the Tyler Shaw and Kellen Moore quarterback-coach partnership continue to look like? These are the things that genuinely excite me. If that bores you, then frankly, I don't know what to tell you. Are you only excited by watching Caleb Williams launch Hail Mary passes? Are you only excited by watching the Kansas City Chiefs win? That doesn't do it for me. I like it all. It's not just one singular thing. And to not extend that excitement to the Carolina Panthers is such a shame. But knowing that I could potentially offer that to the Panthers fan base also motivates me. I'm in a different position than the mainstream media personalities like Nick, Brew, or Colin. They play by different rules. They have different obligations. I respect that completely. This rant isn't a knock on them. It's really not. I think there could be a slightly better effort to include some of these overlooked teams, but I get it. They're on national television. It's a completely different beast. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. But I love the idea that I can potentially deliver something you just can't get in many places. That's what I hope to do. That's why I constantly ask you to subscribe and watch the full video. I know it's annoying. I get it. I really do. But building enough Panther subscribers who watch regularly gives the videos legs, generates comments, and attracts other fans who might not be Panther supporters but watch because they're interested in the broader NFL landscape. Most of the time, you're watching content about teams that aren't your own. If you're a Broncos fan or an Eagles fan, most of the show isn't about your team. I'd love to let people know that there are interesting things to pay attention to here. It's okay to be excited about a Panthers-Falcons game because it will have huge repercussions for the division. It doesn't have to only be Packers-Bears, Eagles-Cowboys, or Mahomes-Allen. There can be other interesting matchups and narratives at play. That's why I really hope to deliver. Once the regular season starts, there'll be way more opportunities to make more videos. It's still harder during the season because there's only so much volume for any team, and I try not to just keep making the same video repeatedly. But in the off-season, it's somewhat unavoidable. Once the season kicks off, I really want to get to a place where there's high-volume coverage of every single team, including the so-called boring Carolina Panthers. I'm fascinated to see what Bryce Young looks like this season. I'm fascinated to determine if he's the future of the Panthers. If he is, then the Panthers are awesome. If he's not, they have a fascinating decision ahead. What moves do they need to make? Do they try to acquire a ready-made quarterback like Mac Jones? Maybe Joe Burrow decides he's done in Cincinnati. Maybe the Texans decide to move on from C.J. Stroud. There are interesting discussions no matter which direction it goes. That excites me. I know I'm crazy. I'm an outlier. But Panthers fans, help me make that not an outlier. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. Whether you agree or disagree, let's get into some discussions, some debates, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something we all feel connected to, something we're excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really helps with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.